Y'all don't play with Jesus. That's all I say. You can play with anything else you want to play with. You can play on the swing. You can play with drugs. You can play with your girlfriend.
Pause.
And you can do whatever you want. Don't play with Jesus.
And so it angers me when people are like, this woke stuff, it's got to go. That's telling me that you don't care about my lived experience. You don't care about the oppression of the LGBTQ community. You don't care about the oppression of the disabled. You don't care about the oppression of immigrants. You don't care about your fellow neighbor. And that is ungodly. That is not Christian.
Crack is cheap.
What's going on, y'all? I got something very important to tell you. And I think that some of you guys realize this, but many of you guys are still unaware that your personal information is being sold and or published online without your consent, myself included. I don't know how many times I've gotten text messages, I've gotten emails, unsolicited calls, and the only way you get those things is because your information have been compromised. You need your information protected, and you need it protected now, and Cogni can help you do that. Let me tell you the difference between Cogni and a VPN. A VPN will help protect your information on a public Wi-Fi, but Cogni will hunt down companies that have already taken your information that has been compromised, and they will get it removed and get it removed now. And how it works, they will send on your behalf a data protection law compliance request to companies that have your information and demand that they take it down immediately. And let me show you how it works. Let's go to the dashboard real quick. So if you look at the dashboard, and this is my video editor's information because I didn't want to put my stuff out there. He voluntarily did it. That's why I love him. But here's his information. Look at the amount of data that's been increasingly removed over time. And it has saved him 255 hours and 45 minutes. I have no idea how much 255 hours is, but that's a long time. Also, suppression list entries have been over 40, and it gives you a rundown of some of the things or some of the places that have your information actively on it, in the places that have been removed, and the date. So you know when you have Cogni that it's just not some system that's acting as if it's working in the background. It gives you up-to-date information at the progress of the removal and also the things that have been removed. And I'll tell you what, if you look at the log, you will be shocked at how much of your data is being sold. Take your personal data back in Cogni. Use code Tatum at the link below and get 60% off an annual plan. That is Cogni.com/Tatum. Use code Tatum to get 60% off. Only reason I'm talking about The View because it has something to do with Jesus. It has something to do with Christianity. And y'all don't play with Jesus. That's all I say. You can play with anything else you want to play with. You can play on the swing. You can play with drugs. You can play with your girlfriend. You can do whatever you want. Don't play with Jesus. Don't play. You can play video games. Right, Trent? You play video games. You can play video games. You can be a gamer. You can, I don't know, you can gamble. You can play with everything else. Don't play with the Lord. That's all I'm saying. Don't play with Jesus. Let me drink a little bit of water, and then we're going to go in. Roll it.
Award season always gets a little political, but last night's Screen Actors Guild Awards, when actress and longtime activist Jane Fonda accepted her Lifetime Achievement Award, she had something to say. Take a look.
What we create is empathy. Make no mistake, empathy is not weak or woke. And by the way, woke just means you give a damn about other people. Even if they're of a different political persuasion, we need to call upon our empathy and not judge, but listen from our hearts and welcome them into our tent. Because we are going to need a big tent to resist successfully what's coming at us.
It's so powerful.
So are people going to take the message to heart? These are two different questions, neither which I really want to ask.
What do you want to know?
When you heard her say that, which is, inclusion, what'd you think?
I loved that. I loved that tone because I think when you, the reason as an independent I lean left is the empathy. It's so easy and natural to have empathy for people that are oppressed, minorities, LGBTQ+, you name it, any group. But when she named the part of other political persuasions, I felt like there was this like kind of jolt, because in the room it was like, yes, 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 and remember to understand them from their hearts, the way an actor would, because actors play bad roles. She went on to say things about men who had to play awful characters, women who had to do this. She said to play them to this level, you have to walk in their shoes. You have to understand even the bad ones. And I thought what she said just landed really heavy with me as a reminder that don't just do the easy empathy, do the empathy that challenges you a little further.
For me, it was incredibly inspiring. And again, part of this shift that I think we are beginning to see, because we've seen several award shows, and frankly, nobody has been political the way she was yesterday. And it also gave me inspiration because, you know, there's a lot of people that are older that have marched, that have protested in the past, that are now saying, you know, we're tired. It's time that the young people do it. And Jane Fonda just reminded us that you are never too old, that you are never too successful. This is a woman who has been protesting and standing up for her beliefs. Sometimes I've disagreed with her, and it has cost her at times, had great costs at her career. And you do not give up on America. You don't turn your back on America. When America needs us to stand up, speak up, and show up, we have to continue doing it.
Yeah. I thought about the conversations you and I have had, Whoopi, so many times about the co-opting of the word woke. And the fact that the right somehow has made it a dirty word. To be woke is a word that came out of the African American community, and it was about acknowledging social justice inequities, acknowledging people suffering. It is not a bad thing to care about other people, to care about the sufferings of others, and to act upon it. And so Whoopi will often tell me, well, I've never been asleep. Yeah. And that's how I feel. My parents, you know, they grew up in the civil rights movement. I grew up in the late 60s, 70s. I was always a part of it. And so I've never been asleep. And so it angers me when people are like, this woke stuff, it's got to go. That's telling me that you don't care about my lived experience. You don't care about the oppression of the LGBTQ community. You don't care about the oppression of the disabled. You don't care about the oppression of immigrants. You don't care about your fellow neighbor. And that is ungodly. That is not Christian.
So. Yeah, but you know what the most ironic thing is? They don't care about it, and they don't care about it while wearing big fat crosses around their necks.
Yes.
Well,
yes.
You know what? I think we always have to remember that all things that make people uncomfortable would be called woke. Everything. There have not been changes made in this country that were made without people being woke. We had to wake up and see that there's nothing wrong with who you want to love as long as you keep me in mind when I say, this is who I love. All of these things were challenged by people who said, oh, maybe they didn't say you're too woke, but they used whatever the hip word of the time was. This has always been, it will always be. This is what change does. It makes people uncomfortable. It scares people, makes people think that they are losing their place. You're not losing your place.
No.
What your place is telling you is that they're...
I can't listen to him no more. I can only stomach it. It's a little bit at a time. Woke has nothing to do with social justice. Woke is when you go too goddamn far. That's when you want kids taking puberty blockers. That's when the man with his weenie hanging out in the locker room with girls, and y'all think that's totally fine. They beating the brakes off these women in sports, and you think that's totally fine. They grunting and dunking on women, breaking records, 300-pound records, and y'all, that's totally fine. That's woke. That's woke. When everything somebody do is racism, that's woke. That's not empathy. That's called weaponized empathy. When you're weaponizing empathy, you're saying, oh, illegal aliens, they deserve a chance. No. The people who came here right deserve a chance. What you're doing is you're gaslighting us. If you came to America illegally, you knew what you would get into when you came here. What about the people who came here the right way? We are protecting them. We care about their rights. We care about their sacrifices. Now, there are people that come here illegally that just want a better life. But to the expense or the detriment of who? We care about America That's why we don't want people taking advantage of America. That's why we don't want people taking opportunities from Americans. That y'all claim y'all care, but y'all really don't care. We don't want people coming over here illegally. It comes with trafficking. It comes with all kind of stuff. Drugs, the growth and development and funding of the cartel, people dying in the middle of the desert getting over here. It comes with a lot of crap too. That's why we don't want MS-13 and gang members and people getting hurt trying to come over here illegally. Y'all don't care about that. That's why y'all woke. We don't want children getting irreversible surgeries and then they grow up and confused and they want to change and they grow out of it. Y'all not even doing no research. Other countries have already banned underage kids getting puberty blockers. But you don't care about the real mental health of young people. You don't care. You just want to use that to your benefit to say, look, I'm virtue signaling. Look, I'm woke. Look, I'm aware. I'm in tune. And kids are dying every day. Suicide rates are going up after they transition. And y'all cool with that. Y'all cool with the Me Too movement and all this stuff, women putting men in prison, lying. Y'all cool with that though. Y'all cool with the unaliving of the unborn. It's her body, her choice. But what about the man's choice? Oh, they don't count. Oh, okay. And then when she had a baby, he in the child support office. Oh, he a deadbeat. Well, I thought it was her choice. Why he got anything to do with it? Y'all just using it as a way to bash people. And I think Republicans love people more than Democrats do. Democrats are like the narcissistic girlfriend that she just gaslight you into thinking that she love you. She's playing games the whole time, knowing she got an ulterior motive. Republicans is like the conservative Christian woman that genuinely love you, that genuinely care about you, that's looking at it through the lens of Christ to try to make right decisions, even though they may be difficult decisions, versus the narcissist, feminist, woke one who really don't. They got the good man really believing in her, really thinking that she care about the future because that's what she say. In her mind, she really don't like you. She really like your cousin. She say, let's move in together. Let's be a family. She really want to start her own life and want to be an entrepreneur, and she don't really plan on being with you no more. That's what the Democrats do. So the good man goes along and say, yeah, wow, we're in love. Wow, we're going to really have a family together. And y'all talk about it and she tell you, yeah, I love you. I want to have a family and all this other stuff. That girl ain't thinking about this. She ain't even thinking about that. And your heart finna get broken and she know your heart gonna be broken, but she don't care. She ain't thinking about that. She thinking about her end goal. The woman that gets pregnant and never tell you about it until after she go to the Planned Parenthood. That's what the Democrat is. Or you can say the man that read you them vows and went before the altar with the pastor marrying you, your family there, your best friends and all this stuff there, and he is a serial cheater. That man can't keep in his pants for 24 hours. He messing with her. You done looked in his phone and he cheating. With his family on the line, job on the line, reputation on the line, and he cheating. That's a Democrat for you. That's the Democrat. Versus the person that's saying, we gonna make it in life. Just hold on. Just trust me. I know I'm working 2 jobs right now. I know I come home late, but I'm making sure I'm doing the right thing. I make sure I put food on the table. Just trust me, we're gonna make it somewhere if you just hang on. And that man go on to be somebody great. That's the Republican. I could go down an analogy list. That's how I genuinely feel. These Democrats, it's like a disease, man. And I don't want to think that because they probably think that about us. It's a disease. These people are not in tune with reality. Everything Elon do now is evil. Everything Trump does is evil because they don't like him, not because it's real.